Hello everybody, Leo Arctica here. Welcome back to Buried. Now, I really am enjoying this story, guys, as I said at the end of the first episode. And we just reached the end of chapter 1, so there's 4 more chapters left. If this is anything like Disturbed, I probably will just play in one sitting. So let's just stop stalling and get right into this, shall we? We just entered this strange-looking bunker, about to cross a threshold. So here we go. Okay, what do we expect? What do we expect? Oh, respect the dead. What? Oh, these are actual statistics. Oh man, if I knew this was at the end, I would have shown this right at the end. So anyway, respect the dead. You and 36% of players left Tony's body where they found it. Secrets. You and 76% of players were upfront about Dennis about Tony's death. Trust. You and 55% told Dennis that you believed his story. Curiosity. You and 75% of players went to investigate the ringing noise. And teamwork. You and 64% of the players decided to bring Dennis with you. So these are actual statistics for the game when you finish each chapter. Okay, like I said before, guys, if I knew this was at the end of the chapter, I would have done so in the first episode. So I'm gonna do that. Make sure I do that at the end of each episode now. So anyway, begin chapter 2. I don't know what to expect. Okay, why am I in a subway? We're standing on a thin platform for what looks like a fancy subway. The rails look well used, but not old. There's a small overhead lights that are very dim, as if they were running on emergency power. The dim overhead lights are a blessing, but the size of the plane makes me feel vulnerable. Staring ahead, the tunnel seems to be endless. It's almost dizzying. There's a small light further ahead, then a space that breaks away from the monotony of the tunnel's curved surface. Another platform, maybe? Why are we in a subway tunnel? Dennis, what do you think this is? Well, it's obvious. It's a subway tunnel. Dennis doesn't answer. The reality of what we are seeing is sinking in. Whatever this place is, it is buried way underground. That seems impossible to me, making anything on the other side of this tunnel dangerous as far as I'm concerned. But of course, we're going on. Human curiosity going to see to that. Also, the ringing noise is louder down here. It's much more solid now, and there's some other sound. Something like a faint hum of machinery. What's your take on this, boss? You think we're safe in here? Dennis asks. Not at all. This is what I think to myself, but I don't want to let Dennis see that I'm riled. While he seems to be limping along much better, when we first stumbled into this place, he's still in rough shape. I'm leading here, and I should probably make him feel confident in that. But I'm not sure. This is creepy. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine, Dennis. Don't worry. I'm the leader here. I may have a bum leg and you may be bleeding profusely, but we're going to be fine here. But, okay, jokes aside, I'm not sure. Well, like I said, it seems like Dennis likes a bit of comfort, especially when he's not comfortable, so I guess I should try to be enthusiastic about our situation, so, yeah, we'll be fine. You reassured Dennis, okay. We're too far in to go back, I say. Besides, if we get caught for trespassing, I'm pretty sure we'd slide by. We're good. You're in pain, and we've got to find the rest of our crew. They could still be here somewhere. Dennis nods and looks reassured, albeit weak and miserable. From the looks of it, we can go either left or right. The left is slightly lit, and the right not as much. This makes me uneasy because I get the sense that one wrong turn in this place looks like we could be wandering here for hours. Suddenly, I jerk my head to the right and I hear an unmistakable sound of someone walking. Did you hear something? I asked Dennis. My eyes strain to see anything in the darkness. Not sure, he says. Maybe it sounded like footsteps. I wait for a moment, but the sound doesn't come again. So those are our options. To the left are flickering lights, indicating that we at least be able to see. There's also humming machinery, a sign of life. And to the right is just darkness. We also heard footsteps in that direction. Well, to be honest, I don't think walking into the darkness would be a good idea. But even though there's lights going in another direction, doesn't exactly mean that it's safe. Plus, there could be someone down here. I say someone because I don't want to say something. So I'm gonna go right. You decide to go into the darkness. If there's anyone here that's worth speaking to, right it is. Oh, that's it. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna kill me, but hey, there could be someone there. As we, you know what this actually reminds me of? It reminds me of Final Fantasy VII, when you're running around the subway area. Anyway, as we leave the glow of electric lights, things instantly start to feel a bit more sinister. I look at Dennis's injuries again. The gash along his side is inflamed now, and while the bleeding seems to have stopped, the amount that has soaked into his pants and shirt has begun alarming. How much further can you walk? I ask him. Can you keep going? Yes, Dennis says. Let's walk into the deep, dark tunnel. That has no business being here. He's right. The darkness we find ourselves in is thick, like we're walking in syrup. I'm actually hungry now. I'm reminded of the fear I felt as a child when I had to go into the basement to fetch tools for my dad. I was sure there were snakes or spiders or monsters of unimaginable horror lurking down there. I feel the same way here, walking through this tunnel. That's when I see a human figure far back in the tunnel, silhouetted in the faint light at the end. He's standing on some other platform just ahead and likely can't see us. It looks like he might be holding a gun, but it's too dark to be sure. Just, hey, who are you? Or stay quiet. Weighing my options here, I don't think staying quiet would be a good idea, because if we do stay quiet and he does go away but then finds us later, is this going to be a bad thing? Maybe it's best to confront your fears and hope for the best. Hey, who's there? My voice echoes throughout the tunnel, bouncing endlessly off the walls. The figure turns round us and freezes, like a deer sensing danger. Why the hell did you do that? Dennis whispers to me. We don't know what that is. We don't know where we are. I don't know, I say. Maybe he can answer some questions. But that doesn't happen. The person can't see us in the dark, and after a moment, the figure rushes through a door up ahead. Something tells me I should have stayed quiet. Why do I get the feeling I'm walking through Resident Evil, the first movie? You know, when the STARS operatives, I think they were, when they entered the facility for the first time, again past the Red Lady. Anyway, as we head further into the tunnel, we reach another platform. There's lights coming from the platform. Unlike the overhead lights, they are dim, red emergency lights. I start to wonder if the explosion at the logging site caused a power outage in this place, whatever this place is. The ringing noise I originally thought was in my head is getting louder. I'm starting to think it's some sort of alarm. When we come to the large open room ahead in the tunnel, it further resembles a subway station. As much as I try to ignore the reality, it's undeniable. We have stumbled to some sort of high-tech transportation system that is buried beneath the forests of Kentucky. It makes absolutely no sense and creates an entirely new sort of fear as to what the hell we've walked into. I notice that Dennis seems confident, though. When we reach the large opening, we have to climb over the rails and walk up the platform. I have to help Dennis over the rails and then up the small utility ladder that is bolted into the opposite side of the travelway. When he reaches the large opening area resembling a subway or waiting area, he collapses on the floor and starts out a heavy breath. And lets out a heavy breath. You know what, Dennis? Dennis says, exasperated. This is ridiculous. I quit. I'm not going any further. On top of worrying about my crew and the madness of wherever we are, I'm not in the mood for Dennis to act like a baby. Get up and pull yourself together, Dennis. It's okay, take it easy, you can do this. Okay. In this kind of situation, even though he's hurt, getting angry at them is not going to be the best thing you can do in this situation. So I think we must stay calm and collected, keep reassuring ourselves. That's what I think anyway. I could be completely wrong, this is probably going to kill me. I'm not the one with the gash in my side, I think to myself, so I decide to cut him some slack. Damn, boss, I'm sorry, he says. It's okay, I say. I don't know how you're still on your feet. If I'm being honest. Stubbornness, I say with a weak laugh. You need a minute to rest, I ask, as warmly as I can muster. No. If I sit down to rest, I'm afraid I might not get back up. We need to keep moving while I still go on. I reach down to help him to his feet, and then we help ourselves up onto the platform. Right in front of us, there's an entrance to a long hallway exiting the platform area. It's at this point I realize these red emergency lights might be on for someone else who's actually supposed to be here. Like that guy I saw earlier, standing on the platform. Well, yelling out didn't help me last time, so maybe I should stay quiet. I'm still not sure if I want to alert anyone to the fact that there are strangers in this secret place. And the thought of hearing a scream, even my own scream in this empty place, is too much to bear. The emergency lights continue to flicker overhead, casting a sick sort of pinkish light on everything. My mind is racing for what sort of place this might be. It's obvious that it's meant to be a secret. And if this is supposed to be secret, and there was a power outage recently, maybe most of everyone has been evacuated. But then why is still one person here? Still thought nothing to make me feel any better as we walk towards the platform exit. We step inside and it seems just as empty as every other place we've come through, weakly illuminated by more overhead emergency lights. We're standing inside a hallway that looks surreal for a moment. Why is that? Is this going to be horrible? Why does everything have to be red lights, man? Anyway, the hallway reminds me of a hospital wing, but there's something not quite right about it. It's the first clean and tidy area I've seen coming into the woods. It looks like it was recently in use, despite the dim emergency lights overhead. There are chairs against the walls, and the floor looks well cleaned, as do the walls. The ringing noise is definitely coming from here, and a small flashing red light along the ceiling seems to flash along with it. That ringing noise is an alarm, I say, if only to confirm my own thought. But for what, Dennis asks. And then he asked the question that's been on my mind since I found a little building in the woods. What the hell is this place? We exchange a look that speaks volumes. We reach the end of the hallway and hear a sound like a large metallic grinding. Ooh. This is followed by a clicking noise, and the unmistakable noise of a generator kicking on. Okay, so there is someone here. Ooh, kind of pretty now. But the music is very fucking disconcerting. Oh my god, I'm enjoying this so much. Right now I'm actually really creeped out. Anyway, without warning, the facility jolts to life. The red glow of the emergency lights is suddenly replaced by bright white fluorescent ones. That mechanical hum is oddly comforting. Somehow, the power being back on urges us on. It's then I noticed the ringing noise had stopped, so it had been an alarm. But for what? Just the power failure? Excuse me, guys. We head down the hallway. The electric hum of the lights sounding eerie overhead. Other than that, the place is dead quiet. The hall is about 100 feet long with two main doors. One door opens onto a large room that looks like a conference room with a whiteboard and paper strewn about. Across the hallway, another door looks like a laboratory of some sort. Dennis slumps against the wall in defeat and lets out a scary-sounding chuckle. Something funny? I ask as a dark and brooding panic starts to grip me. Dennis just keeps on chuckling as he slides down the wall. I'm just going to sit here while you look around. There's a look in his eye that reminds me too far much of a dead animal on the side of the road. Oh, is Dennis going to die? Okay, so enter the conference room or enter the lab. Something tells me I shouldn't go into the lab because I don't know. I don't want to find what I don't really want to find out what's going on in there. So I'm going to go this way. I like the chairs. I should get one for my room. A large table sits in the middle of the room, lined with a series of chairs. It looks like something straight out of a showroom. A well-used whiteboard hangs on the wall, and there are scattered papers on the desk. Look at the papers or look at the whiteboard? Well, the whiteboard's right in front of me, so let's do that. A few things are scribbled on the whiteboard, mostly formulas and names. There are some things that are easy to understand, things that make my blood go cold. Subject 6, cause of death, ebolism of, I can't pronounce it, or anthracim, or both. Ideas for new delivery modes, spherical liquid, induced comatose state first, TerraCore Co. equals possible plutonium supplier. Okay. So is there human experiments going on in this place? What's on the table? Most of the papers are printouts, have codes and equations that go way over my head. There's also handwritten notes that don't make me feel any better about our situation. I read through them and see scrawled notes that say things like, last experiment failed, overdose before transport. Levels indicate cellular catabolism, I think. I can't pronounce. Sorry if I'm pronouncing them wrong, guys. Question mark. More lead shell shielding in export suits. Measurements make no sense. Let Barksdale know about possible Higgs field fix. Okay. Outside in the hallway, hear Dennis grunting. I head out of the room to see him still seated on the floor. But I don't get very far because as I exit, a man comes rushing out of the corner with an automatic rifle in his hand. Oh, this is not good, is it? Oh, this is how we die. It's hard to look beyond his rifle, but the man carrying it is young, with messy dark hair. His skin is so pale that I wonder if maybe he lives down here. He looks like the sort of guy who's been cooped up for a little too long. He doesn't seem like the kind of person I'd trust with a gun in a stressful situation. As he sees us in the doorway, he screams and brings up the gun. It's aimed directly at my head. Dennis jumps out and stands next to me, like he's ready to run for it. I recognize him by his height and build. He's the person I could barely see in that dark tunnel. Try to attack? Why would you want to attack him? The guy's got a gun. He's probably several feet away from us. I don't think we'd be able to get close. Put hands up in the air. I put my hands up in the air, surprised by how natural it feels to go into this surrendered state. Maybe it's because this feels like a dream. Maybe it's because I feel like I'll snap awake if the maniac pulls the trigger. Who are you and how'd you get down here? The man asked harshly. Before we can answer, he continues speaking. I don't recognize you. If you're here, you would have to sneak past the security mics in the entrance hall. What? I asked, unable to think of anything else to say. Who are you? The man asked. Did you do this? The man eyes us both, and I see something in his eyes that unsettles me. He is scared, but there's something else. We're just loggers. Nobody, don't shoot us. Well, I guess both of these would actually, I don't know, I actually don't know if these are good things. Should I be truthful or half-truthful? I think we'd best be truthful with the guy, because the last thing we want to do is agitate him, so we're just loggers. His eyes look distant for a minute, and he says, bullshit. Oh, guy's going to shoot us. But for some reason, I'm pretty sure he knows I'm telling the truth. Okay. Someone knocked the power out, the man says. It's back on now. But if it was out long enough, well, we're in a heap of trouble. Was it you? Who sent you? Look, we don't know what you're talking about, Dennis says. Something happened out in the woods. Are you alone? Are there others with you? The armed man asked, thrusting the gun into my face. How the hell did we get into this situation? I think to myself. If only I had left that damn ringing noise alone, we wouldn't be here. I'm not really sure if I want to give this guy information, yet we don't know anything about him. Then again, he might have answers. No, just us. Or we're looking for our crew. Well, technically he is just us, but again, I guess we should be truthful. Something tells me if I try to squirm my way out of this, the guy's gonna get a happy trigger finger or something. We have other crew members that we can't find, I say. Your crew, he asked, seems confused. If that man thinks we're nuts, there's no telling what we might do. The fact he looks a little crazy himself makes the situation even hairier. How'd you get in here? The man asked. I point down the hall towards the subway. We came in that way. The doors weren't locked. The expression calms a bit, but I'm still very aware of the gun is leveled less than a foot away from my face. Please put the gun down or grab his gun. Why would you grab his gun? I don't want to get shot in the face. That's something only idiots do. Please put the gun down, man. You asked the man calmly to put his gun down. The only thing I'm putting this rifle down is after I've blown your brains out. Oh, God. With that, he sticks the muzzle of the gun in my face. It's a childish move, a playground tactic at best, but it's sufficient to show me that he knows he's in control. He then levels the rifle at Dennis, and I can only assume it's because his wounds make him appear to be weaker of us. The man takes a shaky step forward. Dennis looks down and forth between the barrel of the gun and me, his eyes pleading for help. Stay back. I'll step between Dennis and gun. Yeah, I'm gonna help Dennis. Dennis can't defend himself. He's hurt. Before I'm fully aware of what I'm doing, I step out in front of Dennis. The barrel of the rifle is nearly touching my chest. Both Dennis and the man seem a little confused at my action. I do my best to swallow down my fear. I don't know what's going on here, I say. But we're here by mistake. Well, you have no business here, the man says. But now the power is on, I think you might be too late anyway. For what, I ask. But he doesn't answer me. Instead, he steps forward and actually pushes me backwards with the end of the rifle. The man then repeats a question he asked before, one that makes no sense and honestly makes me think he might be a little crazy. Who sent you, he asks. You assholes from the Pentagon? I'm not sure how to take this question. Is this guy joking? No, what the hell are you talking about? Oh yeah, I'm the president. Why would you say that? This is no time for jokes, man. This is no time for jokes. This is a fucking hairy situation. No, I say. We're just loggers. Something blew up and my friend got hurt. We're looking for the rest of our crew. Likely story, this man says. But I see a flicker of recognition in his face that makes me think he might believe me. Still, the grip on his gun is as tight as ever. The look on his face makes me think he'll shoot me at any moment. You both just stand still, he says. Sooner or later someone will come along and I'll turn you over. He again thrusts the gun forward as if an invisible bayonet was on it. There's no need for that, I tell him. I have no guarantee he won't pull the trigger. Look, Dennis says, we don't want any trouble. We're just as confused as you are. Then, in a movement so fast that I just about missed it, Dennis lunges forward. I have no idea how he's moving so fast. Just 30 seconds ago, I was worried about how close to death he looked. But now he's moving lightning fast. His arm coming down the barrel of the gun with it like a club. In the commotion, the man does pull the trigger. The booming sound is deafening, and there is a moment where I think I've been hit. It takes the clanging noise of the round tearing into the ground at my feet to help me realize I've not been shot. I look at the ground and see where the shot missed my right leg by less than 3 inches. I'm paralyzed, in shock for a moment as Dennis and the man fight over the possession of the rifle. There's a fire extinguisher on the floor. I could use it as a bludgeon, but I might not have enough time to grab it before Dennis is overpowered. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I could grab the fire extinguisher and bludgeon the guy to death, but he might shoot me or Dennis, so let's wail on him. Yeah, punch his teeth in, kick his teeth in. Dennis has the man pinned to the floor, but isn't strong enough to keep him down. As I fall to the floor to help, the barrel of the rifle swings right into the front of my face, a reminder of how close I had come to being shot. On my knees now, I deal a hard, stiff punch to the man's face. I don't punch anyone often. Never, really. I'm not really the brawling type. Usually it's apparently effective. The man's head snaps back hard and his grip on the gun loosens. Dennis grabs the gun and falls to the floor, clearly winded and in pain. Our attacker is immobilized. I can feel a shift in the situation. Yet although he is basically harmless now, I feel the need to pummel him. A desire that builds with each second I look at him. What is this? Are we turning into Smite? Are we turning in... Oh, I cannot remember that creepypasta. It involved something Jack. Where he... I'll have to look it up again. But it reminds me of a creepypasta. Of how this guy... if I find out about it, guys, I'll leave a link in the description below. Anyway, stand back up and keep punching him. Well, since he's disarmed now, I see no real reason to keep punching him in the face. Although that sounds like a really cool, really mean thing to do. But we're in control now. We've got the gun. We're in control. He's not. So there's no need for this to go further. We took it easy on the man. He's definitely out. No threat. Or at least I think... Oh god, he's going to kill me, isn't he? But he surprises me by mustering up one swift kick in my direction, connecting with my forehead. I needed my hard hat! My eyelid swells to the size of a grape almost immediately. It seems like this last attack was more out of spite to spite me than to defend himself. I stumble back and ready myself for another round of blows, but he just slouches onto the floor. He's done. Dennis instantly hands the rifle over to me, and I take it with shaking hands. I can't believe you stepped between me and that gun, Dennis says. He could have killed you. I was pretty sure he wouldn't, I say, although I had no such thing. Still, thanks, man. That was some heroic stuff. You would have done the same thing, right? Dennis says nothing, his eyes looking at the floor. What do we do now, boss? Dennis asks. We've come this far, and I want answers. I sense that Dennis does too. I take a hard look at him before I reply. We get answers from this guy. No answers, this guy says. I don't have any. Next time I won't just hit you, I say, plunging the rifle towards him. Now get up! He obeys quickly, but his legs are wobbling and he's leaning against the wall for support. I can feel my swollen eyelid from where he kicked me earlier. I just hope it doesn't get so bad that it affects my sight. Okay, let's move, I say, pointing the gun further down the hallway. We've come this far. I'm not going to let this guy stop us. We walk down the hallway until we come to the end. A single elevator waits for us. Its steel sliding door larger than a normal elevator. Okay, so we found another human being down here. And we've got a gun, so I guess we can defend ourselves from something, I guess. I'm really getting loads of Resident Evil vibes. Before I get into the elevator with this guy, I think it's wise to learn a bit more about him. I can tell it's making him uncomfortable for me to have the gun. What's your name, I ask. Marcus. And you work here? It's clear he doesn't want to answer, but he gives me a little nod. We're looking for the rest of our crew. Any idea where they might be, I ask. No, he says curtly, not bothering to elaborate. There's got to be something useful we can get out of this guy. I just need to know how to dig for it. At first, I need a first aid kit for my friend here, I say. Where might I find one? Down on the second floor, he says, but we can't go there. We're going down there, okay? Well, maybe it's best to find out. What's on level 2? He looks at me like I'm an idiot. You must be aware you're inside a classified government facility, he says. It makes sense, but I want to doubt it. Well, I'm sure our government will want you to help and save my friend, so take me to the first aid kit. I can't, he says. You don't have clearance. Hell, I barely have clearance. Then, seeming to himself, he mutters, I make this place run. And not even the thank you. Just a bunch of restricted access codes, and I'm only allowed to go into this friggin' chamber zone. I interrupt his monologue when we're going to that first aid kit. I could lose my job, he says. I wonder for a moment what sort of trouble I could get in for hitting a government employee. This makes me glad I took it easy on him. Then again, he had come to us with a rifle. It makes me think the thing would have gone terribly wrong in this place. An explosion in the woods or whatever the hell had happened might be linked to all this. And I need to convince him to take us to the second floor, but I'm not sure if I would be more productive to threaten him or ask for sympathy. Okay, I'm guessing if this guy does work for this company, I think the best thing you could do is not threaten the guy, because obviously if you threaten him, he's not going to help. So I'm going to try and be nice. I'm going to try and be nice. I don't like this guy, but I'm going to try and be nice. Look, I say, it hasn't been the best day. We're just trying to find out what's going on, to find our crew to survive. I know that this isn't a normal situation down here. It looks like all your protocols have been blown to hell. Can't you help us out? He looks at me sternly, weighing his options. Okay, he says. Thank you, I say. With an untrusting stare, Marcus walks to the elevator door, approaching a small keypad on the doors. He punches a numerical code on the keypad, and we hear a slight mechanical hum behind the steel doors. After a few seconds of angry glances and frightened sneers from Marcus, the elevator act arrives. The steel doors slide open with a whisper, revealing the interior. God, this is so fun. I am so tense right now. I don't know why. Nothing actually happened yet. Well, something did happen, but not something did happen. So yeah, I'm just really tense, guys. I'm just really tense. It's exceptionally well lit and looks to be made of stainless steel. I half expect the thing to take off at the speed of light. There's another small keypad on the front right panel by the door with the options of 3 sub-level floors. Looks like this elevator doesn't go to the surface. So after we get the first aid kit for Dennis, how do we get out of here, I ask. We can't leave, Marcus says. Once the power came back on, the whole place was put on lockdown. What, I shout? Can't you override it? No, it's to prevent anything from getting out. I can't. Marcus looks as deflated as Dennis. We can't get out. We're stuck here. Dennis leans into the corner and almost falls onto the floor. The struggle for the rifle took a lot out of him. I can see that much on his face. Slowly, we can start to move down. The hum and grind of the cars' motors fill the space. So what can you do? So we're stuck here forever. Again, I don't think being aggressive with this guy is the best thing we can do. So let's try and keep our wits about us. Let's try and keep our wits about us. Marcus scowls at me. I think it's a fair question. It doesn't seem unreasonable to assume he won't be able to get us out. We'll find somebody with access codes, and they'll be begging at me to figure out how to lift the lockdown. These people think they are all so brilliant, but some of them can barely turn their computers on without help. The top coder in my class at MIT, and I'm stuck living underground, helping idiots that don't even trust me with the keys. How big is this place, and what goes on here? Both are legit questions, so I don't know, how big is this place? It's a government facility of the highest secrecy, Marcus says. A research facility. It goes 4 stories underground, and quite frankly, it scares the piss out of me that you got here in here so easily. Why is that, I ask? This is a black ops graveyard, he replies. Even the CIA doesn't know this place exists. What goes on here? Marcus shakes his head. You may as well shoot me. I can't tell you. Why not? It's beyond classified, and the things I don't know even cover the start of it. What does that mean? I start asking, getting a bit irritated. It means that even if I wanted to tell you the sort of work it's done here, I don't know anything about it. Well, okay, so I don't know. What knocked the lights out? I think it's asking a little bit too much as well, so maybe I should try and open up to him, ask about him. So what's your job? I handle the IT, work and make sure the databases are up and running. It's a 24/7 job. I haven't seen sunlight in almost a year. I wonder that staying in a place like this for that long would do to someone's mind. I was recruited, he continues. Because of the workload, no one else wants this job. But I don't really mind being by myself. No family. Plus, the IT is some crazy shit. Crazy? How? I asked. This place generates over 100 terabytes of data per day, he answers, getting the slightest bit excited before his face falls again. I think we could all benefit from 100 terabytes of data. It seems to be rotating around my questions. So what happened here, or what knocked the lights out? Seems like some sort of power outage, Marcus says. That's all I know. There was an outage, and then what? Dennis asks weakly. And things got weird. Things got bad. Bad? How? I asked. The whole place seemed to shake when the lights went out. I was checking the monitors when it happened, and everything went dead. It took no more than a minute so before I started hearing the screams. Before people were being killed by something. I tried getting the security cameras going again, but it only lasted for a little bit on my backup systems. But what I saw... What? I asked, feeling a sharp fear worm its way into my guts. Well, what I saw on the screens with a little bit more than bit of time made no sense. It made me get the gun from the emergency vaults. I think whatever it is still down here. Hold on, I say. There's an emergency vault with a rifle in the same room as the security cameras in this place? Marcus gives me a grin that looks nearly insane. There are guns locked away in every room in this place, just in case. Just in case of what? Okay, I don't like the way this guy is running rings around me with these stupid riddle questions, but I'm going to keep it calm, keep it sane, because I think the last thing we want to do is annoy this guy. So, even though he hasn't got the gun anymore, I don't think he'll tell me anymore if he keeps on, if we get aggressive with him. As he opens his mouth to answer, the elevator comes to a stop and the doors slide open. Marcus is out right away without a word. He makes his exit and heads directly for a glassed-in room that is filled with computer monitors and high-end equipment. Dennis and I filed out behind him, trying to keep up. As we do, one very alarming question runs through our head. What the hell kind of government facility keeps loaded guns in emergency vaults in every single room? End of chapter 2. I do not know why, but my heart is pounding out of my chest. I'm expecting something horrible to happen. So, before I end this video, what did everyone else do? And let's see. Curiosity. You and 58% of players called out to Marcus when you saw him in the tunnel. Selflessness. You and 64% of players stepped in front of Dennis to protect him from Marcus. Mercy. You and 65% of players were easy on Marcus after he surrendered. Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, at least I'm with the majority here. But my God, this is thoroughly interesting. I'm nothing scary. Nothing really scary has actually happened, but something. I think it's the way the story puts puts you in the mood that something is wrong here. You know it's a really good story when you feel like you're in the story with the characters. You're seeing what they're seeing, or you're imagining what they're imagining, or you're feeling what they're feeling. It's that kind of feeling. You know it's a good story when it's like that. But anyway, I'm going to stop jammering now. I'm going to end the episode here and move on to chapter 3 very shortly. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Click the links below if you want to see the beginning of this chapter, not this chapter, of this story. And click and more links below if you want to see any other scary videos I've done. So on to the next terrifying episode. Take care of yourselves and bye-bye.